Good afternoon, everybody. Ooh, hold on. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our webcast, How to Thrive in a Trader's Market. Now, my name is Glenn Tompkins. I'm the Senior Stock Market Strategist for VectorVest, and I am streaming on 2 platforms. So I need to make sure that I'm being heard on both. I need to know that I'm being heard on both. So please let me know if you hear me both on the YouTube side and on the GoToWebinar side. Trying to find the chat on the there it is, the chat on the GoToWebinar side. All right, so I'm looking to make sure that I am being heard on both the YouTube side and the GoToWebinar side. So I'm looking at the chat on the GoToWebinar side to make sure. Oh, I think I have the wrong mic. Hold on, mic. There we go. That should be the correct mic on the GoToWebinar side. So I apologize. I haven't done a webcast on GoToWebinar for quite some time. All right, so again, I'm just making sure that the chat is coming across good. I don't see any chat in GoToWebinar yet. I do see it in the YouTube side. I do see it on the YouTube side, but I've got to make sure that the GoToWebinar site is working as well. Please talk to me, folks. All right, please talk to me. Let me know. I see the people are here. I see the people are here on GoToWebinar. I just need, nobody's chatting. Hold on. I'm going to make sure that there's chat. That's me. That's me to GoToWebinar. All right. So again, I want to make sure that it's working on both sides. Now I'm kind of nervous that the GoToWebinar side is not hearing me. All right. So if you're not going to chat, GoToWebinar, let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. Please, 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 please. Sharing, make sure I'm looking at the screen, and I am. Okay. You guys can see, so, but no chat. Interesting. All right, I'm going to assume, because people can hear me on the YouTube side, I'm going to assume that the people on the GoToWebinar side are hearing me. But it seems like you're looking at my screen. I know there's not going to be a picture of me today. I'm not going to be on camera for this webcast. I'm not going to be on camera for this webcast. Hopefully somebody from VectorVest is on the GoToWebinar side to let me know if they're hearing me. And again, I apologize. I just want to make sure everything is good to go before I get started. All right. I just want to make sure that I hear you, Michael. I want to make sure that everybody on is hearing me. Sharing. Screen should be monitor 2, and it is. Okay. It is. What did you say, Joey? Sorry, move this over. Lisa Watson. Oh no. Joey said something. YouTube is good to go. Not sure about GoToWebinar. Yeah. I'm not sure about GoToWebinar either. But I got to keep it moving. Joey, do you know how to log into GoToWebinar? If not, can you try to reach out to Boston to make sure that she can hear me? All right, just try that. But in the meantime, I got to get started. I got to get started with the webcast. Again, YouTube can hear me. Joey, thank you very much for setting up the YouTube side. I just need to make sure the people on... Nobody's talking in GoToWebinar. All right. With that being said, once again, thank you for joining me for this webcast, How to Thrive in a Trader's Market. Hopefully everybody will see this note. Please make sure your computer speakers are turned up to hear the audio portions of this webinar. All right. Let's talk about why you're here. All right. This is a webcast. This is actually a great webcast to talk about a very powerful tool within the VectorVest system. It's called the Derby. We're going to get into that in a second. But you're in the right place if you currently dedicate or want to dedicate a portion of your portfolio, keyword there, portion, not all, not the majority, but a portion of your portfolio to short-term trading. What is short-term trading? Short-term trading is just like its name says. Short-term trading is when you're in a stock for a few minutes to a few hours, possibly to a few days. It is short-term trading, and we want to use it to grow our portfolio faster. Many of us, most of us, should be in long-term positions where for retirement. That's where the majority of your money should be, those long-term plays. But you can still put a small portion of your portfolio, maybe 5%, into the short-term trading. And you have an opportunity to make a lot of money real fast in that neck of the woods, all right? In that neck of the woods. But it is a smaller portion of your portfolio, which is key. All right, small portion of your portfolio, which is key. And we have a tool designed to help you to do that. With that tool, you can adapt and thrive no matter what the market throws at you. All right, Blaine says, you're a superstar today, Glenn. With all the technical glitches you faced from the Jockey Club, the mobile to this, you're deserving of a VectorVest Hall of Fame award. Now, it comes in a day's work. It comes in a day's work is what we do. All right, that's the mic. All right. I'm just trying to check on the GoToWebinar side. Nobody's still talking to me. Not sure why, but I got some people there. All right. You can adapt and thrive no matter what the market throws at you. Whether the market's bullish, whether the market's bearish, even if the market is sideways, the Derby will point you in the direction to find those shorter term trades. All right. Now, this is our staff. This is our VectorVest staff. Recently, we went to New York for a one-day trip to the NASDAQ. We were hosted by the NASDAQ. We had our name up on the marquee on 42nd Street. It was an awesome moment for us. It was a big milestone for us. But these are people that you know: Steve Chappell, Mark Blake, Ray Clark, Jerry D'Ambrosio, Todd Schaefer, myself, our president and executive, our CEO. What did you say, Joey? Live on both. Not sure why you don't have GoToWebinar chat. Good. All right, so GoToWebinars, hear me loud and clear. Boston is in there too. I see that. But, hey, Boston, type something in the chat on GoToWebinar. I want to make sure, because I'm not getting any chat. I just want to make sure that everything is good to go. Glenn, did you visit New Jersey when you were in New York? No, we did not. We were in there. We got in and out. It was hot and fast. It was hot and fast. But we got to take a picture at the NASDAQ desk after the market closed, and this is all of our staff. So our education and management staff. There's the president and there's the CEO. So this is an awesome picture to take a look at, where you get to see all of our faces in one picture. There's Ryan, my counterpart here on the YouTube channel. All right, so from here, when you think about trying to have the ability to make money and thrive in any market, you need the right tools that will adapt and thrive in any market condition. And that tool is known as the VectorVest Derby. I'm going to get into the software right now, starting from the home page. Once you have access to the Derby, you will have a tab at the top of your screen that says Derby. Without that tab at the top, you don't have Derby. All right, you don't have Derby. But once you have Derby, that tab will appear. And if you click on it, I'm going to walk through what the Derby is all about. Today, we had some glitches in the technology for our Jockey Club. So we decided to run the Jockey Club, which we do every day from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time on the YouTube channel. And the people on YouTube were wondering more about it. So I'm glad that we're doing a webcast today on the Derby. But this is the Derby tool. And most people ask me, they say, well, the Derby is you only use it for day trading. The answer to that is it can be used for more than just day trading. Primarily what we use it for in the Jockey Club is for that purpose, but you can do a lot more than just day trading. Lisa's chatting to me. You can promote me and go to webinar if you want. All right, let me go find you, Boston. I saw you. I forgot I can do that. Okay. You are now promoted, Lisa. So you can see what's going on, but for some reason I don't see chat. All right. So the Derby, primarily for the Jockey Club, we use it for day trading. But it doesn't need to just be day trading. The Derby tool is flexible enough to accommodate. Remember, the statement in the opening slide say thrive in any market's conditions. So let's start off with what we do in the Jockey Club. We'll start there. And from that perspective, we're going to use the analysis mode of today's Derby. This shows the searches, out of all of the searches that we have, all of the searches that are Derby ready, which searches throughout the day are making moves. Because if the searches are making money, that means the stocks within the searches are making money, giving us the opportunity to make money on them as well. So the market is closed, of course. Show me the money long was the search that was up 8.6% today. 8.6% in just one day. If I click on it, here's the 10 stocks that were in that search. You can see throughout the trading day the equity curve of the search. Here's the 10 stocks. Now the 10 stocks don't change throughout the day. We find them the night before and we track these stocks from the market open. Let's sort this by ROI, or return on investment. We can see UXIN, whatever. UXIN was up 75% today. Now, here's the question. What if you could have found this stock earlier in the day as the market had started to move, and let's say you didn't catch all 75%. Remember, short-term trades, small portion of your portfolio. What if you didn't catch all of that, but would you, and type it in the room, would you be happy if you caught half the move of this trade throughout the day? Type a yes or a no in the room. Would you have been happy to have caught half the move of this stock today from a trading perspective? Type a yes or a no in the room. All right, is the Jockey Club for aggressive or speculative investors? And Michael, it is for all investors. As I get further into this presentation, you're going to be able to see that. All right, so Boston, I can see your chat. All right, Boston, I can see your chat. Nobody else. Is everybody scared of me on the GoToWebinar side? Don't know. But would you have been happy if you could have caught half the move? Let's go take a look at that stock. Let's right click, and I'm going to view the stock graph. Now, when you're looking at VectorVest, when we're looking at VectorVest and you look at a graph, when you pull up a graph, you're going to see the VectorVest layout. All right, that's the traditional graph that you'll see in the system. But for the Jockey Club, because we are trying to do a little bit more trading, to answer your question, Michael, it's not just for aggressive or speculative investors. But the first part of what I'm talking about now, looking at today's Derby, I am being more aggressive or speculative. All right. And in the Jockey Club, we will use different graph layouts to help us to determine throughout the day if the stocks meet criteria of stocks you want to take advantage of. There is a search that I use when I am doing the Jockey Club called the Star Search. It uses two different Bollinger Bands. One Bollinger Band with the yellow is a 1 standard deviation on Bollinger Bands. The outside bands, which are white, are 3 standard deviation of Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands track volatility on a stock. All right. So in the morning, and the reason why I like this layout is because the Bollinger Bands will create 3 lanes, just like you have on a highway: a fast lane, a middle lane, and a slow lane. What we're looking for in the Jockey Club, especially in the Jockey Club, let's go put this on intraday, 5-minute bars current day. What am I looking for throughout the day? So the market opens up at 9:30. Look at the stock in the fast lane, out of the fast lane, in the fast lane, out of the fast lane. Notice though, not until way later in the day does it get into the slow lane. Once a stock, in this case from the Jockey Club, is in the slow lane, from a trading perspective, you should be out of the stock totally. Notice that didn't happen until way later in the afternoon. But look at all of this time in the fast lane, even on the pullback. Look at this. Still stay in the fast lane. When it gets to the middle lane, you have a choice. When it gets to the middle lane from a day trading perspective, you have a choice. Either take half off the table or get out of the trade. One of the two. The choice is yours. All right. But I think that we could clearly see that throughout the day, we could have definitely caught half of the move on that stock, up 75%, especially if we saw it way early in the morning. when the market first opened up and the stock opened up in the fast lane. The tool we're using is the Jockey Club, is the Derby. But what I'm looking at from the standpoint of how to trade the stocks in that Derby format is a graph layout designed specifically to help us in those day trading applications. All right. So show me the money long was the top. We can go down the list, finding fireworks stocks. Notice that the majority of the bullish searches automatically popped up to the top of the list. UXIN was probably in a few of these different searches, but look at these equity curves as the day went along. Opportunities, UXIN. And these are three different searches that look for three different characteristics, but UXIN fit the characteristics in three different searches. When you find a stock that shows up over and over, you probably want to pay attention to that stock, all right? You probably want to pay attention to that stock from a day trading perspective. Now, let's talk a little bit about what you see here. We call this the Derby because it's like horses running. Right? And what you're looking for throughout the day is the horse that has the lead. And that's why we call this the Derby or the Jockey Club, the jockey that rides the horse, the Jockey Club. And this is the Derby. The Derby is showing you the fastest moving searches. You know, with all of the searches that we track throughout the day, isn't it great that we have a tool that will bring to the top the search within the system that's doing the best? And again, with that, the stocks within the searches are doing well. All right, so that's what you're looking at right here. Let's move over to the left a little bit. The analysis mode is today's Derby. I'm going to come back to this. The entry price is tracking from the market open, price all, or I can set price parameters, greater than 2, greater than 5, and greater than 10. This gives us a lot more flexibility in the types of stocks that we're looking for trading. Average volume all, we're going to be looking at 100,000 shares, or we can increase the amount of liquidity to bring us, stocks that have more liquidity. Maybe the stocks have to be greater than 250,000 shares or 500,000 shares. But again, that's on average volume. I'm going to click on 500,000 shares. Let's go see if the search has changed. Yes. So noticing that we're looking for more liquidity, depending on how much money you have in the market. And a lot of people may have a lot more money, even though it's a smaller portion of their portfolio, would probably want to be in stocks that are more liquid. Again, the flexibility of the tool is right there for you. Langer's Longs up 4.03%. Look at its equity curve and the stocks that were moving it up. Look at that. LU was up over 19%. Lexin FinTech was up over 11% and so on. I also want you to also concentrate on the stocks that are moving and not pay nearly as much attention to the stocks that are not moving. The idea is to make money and to find the stocks, the best stocks you can short term to make money in. All right. So that's what's on the side here. Put that back on all. Minimum number of stocks, 10. I can change that number. Maybe it's okay if I only have 5 stocks or 4 stocks. We like to leave it defaulted to 10. We have more characteristics over here of flexibility. The percentage winners average. Ooh, let's click that. Let's say that the searches that come up have to have at least 9 out of the 10 stocks making money. Notice that now I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 searches that meet that criteria. I like to use that from time to time, especially when the market is moving sideways. I want to see which searches the majority, which searches have the majority of the stocks winning. All right, let's take that off. And delta's positive is something I'll come back to in a second. Another piece of the proprietariosity. Ooh, that's a great word. Proprietariosity. That's a Glenism. Is using something called the DTI, the Derby Timing Indicator. Now, the Derby Timing Indicator takes a lot of the data that's going on in the VectorVest system, ties it into a scale between 0 and 2. And you know something? Let's click this little question mark here. This indicator looks at every price and volume filter of which we just went through, all right, greater than 2, greater than 5, greater than 10, average volume greater than 250, greater than 500,000, all right, in today's mode, which we're looking at, along with the movement of the Dow, the NASDAQ, and S&P. So yes, it is proprietary, but it is looking at the other indices and what they're doing. The VectorVest composite and the advanced to decline ratio, they are all scaled between a 0 and 2. Above 1 is favorable and below 1 is unfavorable. The purpose behind the DTI or Derby timing indicators to give you a full, robust look at what's going on in the market. And from all of that information, tie that indicator on a scale between 0 and 2. Above 1 is favorable. Whichever DTI, whether bullish or bearish, above 1 is favorable. Below 1 is unfavorable. Noticing that as we got to the end of the day, both of the DTIs finished below the value of 1. Now, I'm going to give you another piece of information here. When we're looking at the DTI, there is a sweet spot. The sweet spot is 1.2. I look at the DTI as a level of direction for the market. Remember, you need to thrive, whether the market's bullish, bearish, or whatever. On a daily basis, this indicator will help you to thrive, to make sure that you're always on the right side of the market. So we do look for the DTI to get at 1.2. That really gives confidence on the direction, whether it's bullish or bearish. On a day like today, when we finish below 1, it is great that the Derby was telling you just sit still. You know, the Derby will tell you to be bullish, it'll be bearish, but you do know that by looking at the Derby, I can keep myself out of harm's way, because I like to say that the Derby tells you the rest of the story. Nobody else besides a VectorVest subscriber has access to the Derby. Everybody else out there is just looking at the indices. Hey, the indices are up, let's go. Then you see the market fall and you go, wow, what happened? The Derby is giving you the rest of the story by this indicator. Down below, we have the summary, where we're looking at what's going on with all of the searches in the software, and then we can segment between the bullish and the bearish searches. We want to use the summary section for what we call bias. Where is the bias, whether bullish or bearish? And what we do is we look at the bullish and the bearish searches. We go down to the winners column, and what we're looking for is at least 60% winners, whether bullish or bearish, and that will give us a bias of what's going on in the market, especially on a day-over-day basis. Blaine on YouTube says, I rarely day trade, but the Jockey Club provides everything I need to start my swing on investment trading day, from the market and the stock news to technical analysis, and even Glenn's entertaining stock songs. I got a lot of songs. I do. Thank you for that, Blaine. All right. I like new colors, except for you can't see the names of what they are and blend together. Yes to your question. Okay, Deborah Ann, I got you. All right, so I just wanted to break down a lot of what you're looking at. And just to let you know, if you do become a new subscriber to the Derby, we do have a folder up here, or a tab that says Help. If I click on it, we have the Derby Quick Start Guide. We have the Robo Trader Derby Quick Start Guide. We've got the Derby Tour video, and then we also have the Jockey Club Experience. So it's not like you take a trial to this. At the end, you'll all get an opportunity to do that. It's not like you just take a trial, but you can walk through and see what the Derby is all about, breaking down a lot of the things that I'm breaking down for you as well. I've got a short amount of time to give you a deeper dive, and I think that this is even helping my normal, regular Derby people get a better understanding, because we don't go over this all the time, a better understanding of just how powerful the Derby is. All right, so now let's come back to the analysis mode, okay? I've got 4 different analysis modes. We always take a look at today's Derby. The day trading mode, all right, the day trading mode is looking at one trading day, and we're looking at buying at the open and selling at the close. That's what the day trading mode looks at. Buying at the open and selling at the close. Now, I can go back in time. Let's go all the way back as far as I can. And I'm still looking at day trading, but this is looking at, if I click down here, I'm looking at buying at the open, selling at the close for each day. And then this gives us a little bit of a sense of a back test of all of the searches. So based on the day trading mode, I can see how well these searches have done over the last 66 trading days. Therein lies the beautiful thing about the Derby. If I'm looking for longer term stuff, now notice with the market's conditions, I got a lot of bearish searches at the top of the list. That makes sense. Now, as the market over the last 2 months is starting to turn around, some bullish searches will start to come. Let's look at this bottom fishing search. Look at its equity curve doing buying at the open, selling at the close for 66 days. I love that equity curve. It's up 14.7%. For those of you who think that it's just for day trading, these different analysis modes will change your mind in regards to, holy smokes, this surge is up 14.7% over the last 2 months. This may not be a bad way to go. But again, it does signify buying at the open and selling at the close for 66 days. All right, next one is buy and hold. I'm buying on day one, which is 626, holding all the way up to 927. This is just buy and hold. Now, the reason why this could be useful to you is for the purpose of saying, well, I want to look. Remember, it's not just for day trading. Maybe I want to find some searches from a longer term perspective where I can feel a little bit more comfortable. Peabody winners. Bought on 626, held all the way up to 927, up 25%. How many of you would be okay if you bought and held 10 stocks and got 25% return? Look at the numbers here. HROW up 104%. ADMA, which is a stock that I've talked about on YouTube, which is a bagger, 76%. GCI. Now, you know what's cool about this analysis here? What if I'm looking for a couple of long-term plays to look at? Let's go look at mini rockets long. Look at that equity curve. All right. And maybe I look at these stocks. Ryanair up 52%. Payoneer up 37%. Infinera up 35%. This is a good place. And let's go look at one of these stocks, look at a graph on it. Now, again, if this is a longer term play, then let's go back to the VectorVest layout over the last year. You can see why. And now the Derby 2 brought that to your attention. Again, for a longer term perspective, the Derby tool just brought that to your attention. So the Derby, of course, is great for day trading, for being speculative, for being aggressive. But the Derby has got so much flexibility. Let's highlight all of these. Has so much flexibility to help you, remember, thrive in any market. I want to look at all of these on a 1-year graph and see what still looks good. Look at that. Payo, IFN, no, maybe not that one. APLD, I like that one, but this is aggressive. This is aggressive because the stock is very volatile. The cool thing is by looking at the graph, I can determine what's volatile and what's not. Long term, it's made money, but man, that's a rough ride. Oof. MNKD was great, but now falling off. But I can go through all of these. I can go through all of these bullish searches from the buy and hold scenario. Look at these. Wow, look at that equity curve. Look at these graphs and make a decision. Hey, what stock still has the wherewithal to keep running going into past 1 year? All right, and all I got to do is just quickly scroll through. There we go. RNR hitting a new 1-year high. Look at the run on that. This was something I would keep on my radar from a long-term perspective. Look at that. UNM. Look at that. Now, how many of you now see the benefit of using the Derby to find longer-term plays as well? Type of 1 in the room. And I think that a lot of times I've got to dispel the idea that the Derby is just for day trades. That's why this webcast walks you through the flexibility that the Derby has. Yes, it is definitely, we use it for the Jockey Club, but man, the Derby is a flexible tool, folks. And I just found 2 stocks that's too volatile for me. I found 2 stocks that now hit my radar as 2 great long-term plays found from the Derby. All right, so that's buy and hold. Let's go over to 2 very important ones that we use within the Derby for like a package play. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. Vary the start date, 66 trading days, and it goes from day 1 to day 66, day 2 to day 66. Now, you're going to watch that right here. Here's all the results. Day 1, 626 to 927, 627 to 9, and it gives you the wins and losses along the way. All right, but look at how many days. Look at this, from whichever day that is all the way up to the M. 33%, 34%, 31%, 29%. A lot of double-digit wins on this search. Now, that's a bearish search. Let's go look at a bullish search, do the same thing. All right, it's up 10.49%. It's up 10.49% going from day 1 to day 66, day 2 to day 66. The purpose behind this is to show some validity behind this search. Again, from a longer term perspective, not just day trading. If I'm trying to find a search within the VectorVest software that makes money more times than not, the Derby is a great tool that vary the start date. Let's sort this by gain loss. Out of 66 days, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This search on the very start date has made money 60 out of 66 days. Whoo! Where else do you find this kind of flexibility on looking at this many searches within the VectorVest software? That's what this is all about. So the whole purpose behind showing you all of these other analysis modes is to really prove to you that we use the Derby to be more aggressive, but the flexibility, the power of the flexibility behind the Derby can be used for so much more. I wish that I could really talk to the people on GoToWebinar to see if they're getting this. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? All right, that's what I need to know. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Oh, wait a minute. It's the questions part. Wow, yeah, I can see that now. All right, maybe it was the questions. That was the problem. Sigh. But now I want to look at the questions, show answered questions, why won't it let me see? There it is. Can hear me. Now I can see. Faint. Good to go. We're good. All right, but why am I not seeing it all the way through? I got to look at them one by one. That doesn't make sense. Sigh. All right. No, that doesn't work. Again, I've not been on this for so long. I can't see it. Make your window. Oh, is that what it is? Make your window bigger. Well, Lisa, the problem is, yeah, you need to come over here and look. No, file, options, view. I got all of that. Lisa, you may have to come over here and take a look because I can't. It is, detach the questions. Bam! Man, there you go. Thank you, Lisa. You're amazing. Because you're amazing just the way you are. Now I can see the chat. Holy smokes. It took me all of this time. It took me all of this time to see the chat. Holy smokes. Now I can see it. Someone is talking with me. Sounds like a nice person. Most likely that's Lisa. All right. Is this being recorded? Yes, Jeffrey, on GoToWebinar it is. And now I can see the people on both chats. Whew, man, oh man, I was losing some hair. I'm gonna tell you, I was starting to lose some hair. Goodness gracious. All right. So with that being said, that's vary the start date. Going to take you into one last one, which is the sliding window. The sliding window looks at specific amount of days. So 626 to 626, 627 to 627, all the way through. I don't want that one. I don't want that one either. I want a bullish one. Let's go find me a bullish one. There we go. Bullish one, sliding window, and sliding all the way through to give you more data. Again, more back testing data. The number of days of holds, let's change that from 1 to 10. So now I'm going to show you what that means. Click on OK. Now I'm going to see bullish. Now I'm going to see slots of 10, 626 to 710, what it did. 627 to 711, 10-day holds. That's what the sliding window does. So again, I just needed to show you the power behind more than just day trading, more than just speculative or aggressive. This tool has got a lot of power to assist you. And again, it goes back in the slide, no matter what the market throws at you. All right, so that was all of the different analysis modes, the number of days of hold for that analysis modes. I'm going to go back to today's Derby. All right, and for the people who are brand new, Does this help you in getting you a better understanding of the true power behind the Derby? Just type a yes or a no in the room. The explanation that I've given you, in breaking down what the Derby does, has it now at least given you more of an understanding of the power of what the Derby brings to the table to help you in any situation? And that's what I really want to know here. All right. New info for me, certainly, says Michael on YouTube. Muriel and Craig both say yes on GoToWebinar. Great. All right. A couple of other things that I want to break down. Going to the Derby view, which is what we're looking at the horses, or we can go with a split view where we can look at all of the bullish searches and all of the bearish searches. All right. And which ones are doing the best. We can break down from a split view to a spreadsheet view. The spreadsheet view is really cool. If I want to do deeper analysis to really hone in on a search, I can use what we call the deltas, and I can see what searches have been moving for the last 5, 10, 15, 20, and 30 minutes. What I'm looking for here is something that has made money for all of those time frames. I'm trying to just scroll through an eyeball. Oh, there it is. We got it. Like something like here. Chappell's Champs. Over the last 5 minutes made money, 10 minutes made money, 15 minutes make money, 20 minutes made money, 30 minutes made money. But towards the end of the day, it got beat up. Aha! The best time to use this is at any point in the time in the day you really want to find what's moving at that time. No matter what time it is, you want to. It helps you to hone in on what searches are moving the most over the last 5, 10, 15, 20, and 30 minutes. All right, so that is there. What do you use for stops? Great question, Ryan. What we use for stops, I personally, when I'm going to do a day trade, I use something like a 7 to 10 trailing stop, because from a Derby perspective, if I'm day trading, I am trying to make sure I mitigate my losses. And if I use a trailing stop, it allows the stocks that are going to run, it allows them to run, but it also allows me to mitigate losses and take short losses. So that's what I like to use, Ryan. It's all up to you. It's all up to you. I've got a couple of people in the Derby who shave pennies. All right. And if that's the case, they're going to use different stops. All right. Not a lot of people in the Derby do that, but there is sometimes that happens. All right. So for the most part, I will either use a 7% trail, or I cap the gains to the upside, or use a 28.7. And for longer terms, which I'm interested in, then that's a whole different story. And for my longer trend stuff, I'm going to use a longer term moving average, something like a 20-day simple moving average. That way I get those stocks more room to run. Or better yet, why not use the VectorVest indicator RT? When RT goes below 1, the stock has lost momentum. You know, I know the Derby is VectorVest centric, but why not use a VectorVest centric stop? How about this? How about if you buy into a stock that's a buy recommendation? I love this stop. How about when the stock moves from a buy to a hold? Whoo! Again, that's VectorVest centric. So I like the Derby tool because it's VectorVest centric, but why not use some of the indicators within the VectorVest system, especially if you're going to be a little longer term or swing trade? Why not use some of the indicators that are in the system to help you to manage stocks as well? Is there typically a minimum on the number of stocks purchased for a day trade? No, I don't use a minimum of the number of stocks. It all depends on what you do. How much money? Remember, this is supposed to be for a smaller portion of your portfolio. All right, this is not back the truck up and put everything in. This is for a smaller portion of your portfolio. All right. All right. So that's some of the views here. Let's go back to the Derby view. I can go to where it says all searches and look at all the bullish searches. All right. Especially if the day is bullish, or if the day is bearish, I want to look at the bearish searches. I can do that as well in a downtrending market. All right. So I think that breaks down all of the tools within the Derby to help you guys better understand it and how to use it. I better understand it and how to use it. All right, let's go back into, from the Derby perspective, let's go to our portfolios. These are our portfolios, and these portfolios have real VectorVest money. All right, real VectorVest money. Is it running away gangbusters? No. But always keep in mind, we're only with you for an hour and a half worth of time. And then for the rest of the day, we don't, between me, Steve, and Jerry, don't have the wherewithal to watch these all day. I wish we did. I know that this portfolio would be tremendously much better. All right, but we have stops on these stocks. This portfolio is up 4.3%. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stocks. 3 out of the 7 are rising. I'll show you anything that's got a 28.7 is a stock that I've put in here. Anything that's got a 50.10 is a stock that most likely Steve Chappell has put in. All right, so it all depends on the coach that is coaching that day on which stops that will be used. All right, so that is our main portfolio. Again, does it look like it's rocking and rolling? It is positive, number one. And also, number two, remember, this is supposed to be with just a smaller portion of your portfolio. I'd be okay with 4 or 5% on a smaller portion of my portfolio. The main action is going to be in my long-term retirement stocks. All right? In my long-term retirement stocks. And that's what we would be doing. All right. So now, let me get back into the slides real quick. I'm going to do that real quick. And so what did you learn today? Today, you learned how to keep the wind at your back on short-term trades. Looking at that today's Derby analysis from a day trading perspective, but you also learned a stress-free way to evolve with changing market conditions and pick the right stocks to trade. If the market is moving up and you're still trying to find longer-term stocks to look into, those different analysis modes will put you in some of the best stocks to hold longer term as well. So the Derby, yes, is looking at the fastest horses when we do the Jockey Club. But the analysis, the flexibility of the analysis is amazing to help you guys to tackle any market's conditions. All right. Now, a lot of you will sit back and go, you can't do this. And we cut that T off because you can do this. Every day we go through the Jockey Club, but you'll notice that some of those stocks that are in the portfolios are stocks that we're holding longer term because we deemed, looking at their graphs, that they are longer term holds. You can do this, but you've got to remember this is still a smaller portion of your portfolio. And the stops that we will put in place will help you to mitigate losses, but also to take advantage of opportunities to make money as well. You can adapt and thrive, again, no matter what the market throws at you. That is key. This is not a one-trick pony. Huh? You like that? I'm talking about the Jockey Club and call it a one-trick pony. This is not just a one-trick pony. Michael Stein, these searches are in the Unisearch. Yes, that is absolutely right. Thank you, Lugu. All right. Something that's put up here. Blaine did well on YouTube. FINRA, the Financial Industry Regulation Authority in the U.S., a day trader must keep a minimum account balance of $25,000 cash or stock if you day trade 4 or more times in a 5-day period. And if you get flagged as a day trader and you don't have $25,000 in your portfolio, you can be shut down for trading for 90 days. All right, so that's another thing. Thank you for that, Blaine, to let you know if you are going to try to be a day trader, you're going to need to have $25,000 worth of cash or stock in your portfolio. If you want to get around that, then that's why, some of these stocks that we're looking at, you don't have to always day trade them. So we look at the graphs for longer term just to be on the right side, number one. And number two, you can still do it up to 4 times in a 1-week period. As long as you don't go over that, you'll be okay. All right, so just to put that out there. So, what is the tool? Again, it's the real-time Derby. You have to have real-time. You got to have real-time in order to be able to use it. We're going to give you a 30-day Derby trial, and it's going to include the real-time service upgrade if you need it. So if you have real-time, but you need the Derby, you still get a trial cost of $29 for 30 days. Here we're offering the trial for $29 for 30 days. All right, what you need to do is go to www.vectorvest.com/thrive. All right, And again, you act now because this is valid through until Sunday. Here's the bonus. You get access to the Jockey Club, where Steve or I will be coaching you through on the Jockey Club. Same thing that I just talked about here, you're going to see it in action. If you sign up today, you'll see it. You'll have access to it on Monday. You'll see it live and in living color. Living color. All right. So what is it? The real-time derby, 30-day derby trial. You get access to real-time if you need it. But again, if you don't need it, if you don't need the real-time, but you need the derby, it still is $29 for 30 days. Guess what? If you don't like it, you can cancel it. If you don't like it, you can cancel it. All right, and you go to www.vectorvest.com/thrive. All right. Now, between my GoToWebinar people and my YouTube people, anybody interested? Just type the word interested. All right, can you show a shot with candlesticks, please? Deborah Ann, no. Not here. Right now, I just want to talk about the power of the Derby and see if there's anybody who's interested in it. All right, that's all. That was my goal today. So it looks like I've got 3 or 4 people on GoToWebinar who are interested. Anybody on YouTube that's interested. Now, one thing that you never see me do much on YouTube is do a sales webcast. I'm actually filling in for Steve Chappell today. I am actually filling in for Steve Chappell. So it's a little different that I'm even selling something on YouTube. But I will say I think that this is a powerful tool that gives you a lot of ability to take a smaller portion of your portfolio and grow it pretty quickly. I'm interested but cannot participate at this time. And I hear that. That's fine. The choice is yours. You know, all I'm doing is putting it out there for you guys interested due to nice chat person. And there you go. Lisa, you did a great job. Look at that. Thank you for that, Eric. All right, thank you for that. All right, what is the schedule for the Jockey Club? What days and time? It's every day, Michael, from 9 a.m. until 10:30 a.m. Every day from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Steve Chappell normally has it on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I have the Jockey Club on Tuesdays and Fridays. All right, so that is our schedule, but it's every day, Monday through Friday, from 9 a.m. until 10:30 a.m. All right, but we will give updates in the room of what's going on with the stocks as well. Again, folks, this is a 30-day derby trial for $29. It's like $1 a day, and if you don't like it, you can cancel and never come back if you don't want to. But the purpose is, again, you joined here to see how to thrive, you know, in the market. I think the Derby proves itself. Talk to the people that are as Eastern time. Yes, Sharon. Deborah says interested but can't do now. And again, the choice is yours. I'm never going to try to spend your money. All right, that's not my deal. You guys know what you can or cannot do. My job is just to bring you to the water. If you're ready to drink, it's right there for you. If not, I totally understand, and that's your decision. I ain't judging. I ain't judging, not even a little bit. I tried previously, but did not have the time to fully commit. This coming month, I will only be able to use for 3 weeks. What would my situation be for the trial? You would still be $29. You would still be a $29 trial. But if you know that you can't get out of it what you want to put into it, or you can't put into it what you want to get out of it, however it is, then you wait for another time. We'll offer it again. All right, I'm the first one to not try to spend you. I'm not going to try to sell you nothing that you can't use. That's not good business. All right, if you're ready to want to try it, then try it. If now is not the right time, then I totally understand that. Again, I am not trying to spend your money. Michael asks, what is the price after 30 days? Boston, can you give me that? What's the price after 30 days? Because I don't know. Boston will give me that price, hopefully, because it'll be real-time and Derby. What do you think about? Okay, that's something different. So she's typing to me to let me know what the price is after the Derby. Again, $29 for 30 days. Again, www.vectorvest.com/thrive. www.vectorvest.com /thrive. Lisa, how long does it take to put a price in? Goodness gracious. $248 a month for both. $99 and $149, and annually it's $1,495 annual. Before you start to think about, oh man, that's just way too much, before you start to say that, let me invite you to the $29 for 30 days. I can virtually, keyword there, virtually, guarantee that you'll pay for that first month. How many people, on YouTube, how many people paid for their monthly subscription in the first month? Just type a 1 in the room. For those people who are on GoToWebinar that have had it in the past or have it now, how many of you were able to pay for a monthly subscription with your monthly, 1 month? All right, I'm going to put them out there. All right, on YouTube, Sharon said she was able to. All right, I want to talk to the VectorVest people who are Jockey Club people. All right, Sharon stepped up. Blaine on YouTube says yes. I'm trying to see if there's anybody on GoToWebinar that has. Willard says, I'm already in the 30-day trial. Was his first day. If I have questions, where do I ask? You can ask during those sessions in the Jockey Club, or you can reach out to our product support staff, Willard, or you can reach out to the people on the on our staff. Actually, how about Sharon says, I actually paid for the year in a short time. Again, now I don't have as many people on YouTube right now that I have on GoToWebinar. So maybe it's the GoToWebinar people. I understand. Maybe not a lot of them are subscribers yet. But I can virtually, and I say virtually, I can virtually guarantee that you're going to be able to pay for at least 1 month of the Derby with your 30-day trial. All I ask is put my feet to the fire. Try it. And if in 30 days you don't, you can cancel. When does the offer expire? Sunday. We couldn't find you on YouTube, only an old version. I'm right here. I'm right here on YouTube right now. All right. We're coming up to the time, to an hour's worth of time. Again, hopefully you liked what you saw. Hopefully you see an opportunity to thrive in any market's conditions. That's what this is all about. The Derby is an amazingly powerful tool to help you all the way around, whether it's a day trade, whether it's a swing trade, whether it's a long-term stock. The Derby has the power and the flexibility to put whatever type of stock you want in your hands. All right? And that's it in a nutshell. Thanks for the info. The software looks like a profit maker for me, with or without attending the Jockey Club. Thanks for sharing with me. That comes from Eric on GoToWebinar. You are very welcome. Robert says, what if you already have real time? Then you're paying the $29 to have or add the Derby to your subscription for 30 days, Robert. That's what you're paying for. All right, if you already have real time, you're paying $29 to add the Derby tab to the software. All right. Anybody have any other questions? I think we covered a lot. In this hour. And hopefully you at least walk away with a better understanding. Whether you're ready to take the trial now or not, at least you have a better understanding of what the tool can do. And then you just need to determine when it's the right time for you to take it. Remember, if you're ready to take it now, go to www.vectorvest.com/thrive. You can take advantage of the $29 trial for 30 days. All right. Muriel says, thank you, Glenn. See you on Monday. Deborah says, best program I've used. I've looked at several. VectorVest, best explain out there, I think. Thank you. Have a good night. You too, Deborah Ann. All right. So if there's no more questions, then I'm going to sign off. I want to say thank you very much for attending. On a hurricane day, you take some of your day to spend with me for this webcast. Thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate it. Hopefully, I did not waste your time, and if nothing else, I sparked up some interest in wanting to try this awesome tool to help you thrive in any market conditions. All right. I hope that everyone here has an awesome weekend. Enjoy it. Still be safe out there. Lisa, thank you for helping me out in the background. And with that, folks, I hope you all have a great day. I'll see you the next time.